In this video we're going to build a chicken run. So we're going to start with how we selected the area the chickens will live in. We're going to put a fence around that area, we're going to build a chicken coop, we're going to get some supplies, and then finally we're going to get our chickens. Okay, so let's start with the area where our chickens are going to live. We've chosen this slightly wooded area. The chickens are woodland creatures and they like to forage around between the trees and on rough ground. These trees will also provide great cover from the summer sun when it gets a bit warm. Just through there there's actually a concrete platform where an old oil tank used to be, so that's going to provide a perfect base for our chicken coop. Now, don't think that you need to go and lay a concrete platform. Putting a coop on a flat piece of grass is perfectly acceptable. Just going round the whole area itself is about 50 metres all the way around. We're going to start off with 3 chickens, so that will be more than enough space. And we've also spent some time just clearing out this area. Again, you don't need to go and clear whole areas, but this area had a few too many brambles in it, so I just wanted to chop some of them out. So we're going for a more traditional wooden wire fence rather than a full electrified enclosure. A couple of reasons for that. One is cost, this was cheaper, and the other one is that we wanted a bit more of a sort of farm look around the area that we live in. So the posts on the right hand side, they are 1.8 metre by 50 mil posts. They're tannalised, which means that they've been pressure treated with a wood preserver, so they should last for a long time. They're normally about £3.50 each, but it's slightly more expensive at the moment. We're in the middle of the coronavirus lockdown. We've bought 20, as I said before. It's a 50 metre all the way around the chicken run, so that'll give us a couple of spare in case any break or I need to create any special corners. The middle post, well the bigger post, is 1.8 metre by 100 mil by 100 mil, so we're going to use these to mount the gate. It'll be very important to make sure these go in perfectly straight so we can mount the gate properly. And we're going to knock them in with this post knocker. That was about £35 from Amazon. I've used it before, it works really well. So let's get started. So all these posts being 1.8 metres, I've marked them all at 60 centimetres because they need to be at least a third in the ground for stability. And I'm now going to bang them in. Right, we've got our chicken coop. This is it's a Cucciolotta polygotique chicken coop, and it was bought from a company called Easy Coop, EASICOOP. It's cost about £500, so quite expensive, but it is a high pressure treated laminate, so it won't rot. It's easy to clean, easy to put together, and it won't get infested with any termites that could harm the chickens. So I'm going to build it now and I'll see you in about an hour. And here we go, one built chicken coop. Took about an hour, 2 people just slotted together. It was fairly easy. We've just still got to put the automated door on the front. I'll just take you around it. Just around the back there we have the egg boxes. Ready to go. All my fence posts are now in, so I'm going to move on to putting some wire around the perimeter now. I'm going to start with a couple of awkward bits. There are 2 bits within the perimeter that have got a slope where one of the posts is higher than the next post along, so I need to tackle those individually, and I'm going to talk about those 2 when I've finished. Then I'm going to lay the rest of the perimeter wire and we should be done with putting our gate in. So here goes. The mesh is 1.2 metre tall, so it fits these posts really well. It's PVC coated and it costs about £1 per metre, and I've used about probably 55 metres all the way around the perimeter. The way I started this was with a staple at the top, and then following the hexagons all the way down to the bottom. I stapled the bottom and that held it in place, and then I've just used U-nails just to hold the mesh in place across all the posts. Between some areas I've had to backfill some soil just to make sure the mesh touches the floor, and some areas I had to just fill in some little holes like this here, and then I've used 4 or 5 12-inch tent pegs just to hold the mesh really firmly in place across the ground. Tent pegs cost about 25p each, so they're not too expensive. My 2 sections with short slopes, I measured the distance between the 2 posts and cut a little bit more wire than there was needed. For this one I've dug a small trench just to try and keep the wire as flat as possible. I attached both of the bottom ends of the wire first and then went up the post and pegged in the gaps all the way along there, and I'm just going to backfill this bit later. My other post, which is just round the corner here, I didn't have the benefit of being able to dig a short channel because this whole area is covered in roots, tree roots underneath. So I did the same, measured the wire, cut a little bit more than I actually needed, attached the bottom, attached the other end at the bottom but left a little bit of slack, and then pegged it in very tightly all the way along the bottom, and then attached the wire up each one of the posts. Right, now that's done, it's time to put the rest of the mesh on. Slight change of plan on these 2 main gate posts here. So there's an electricity cable that runs just underneath this ground here, and I didn't just want to bang these posts in and risk damaging that cable. So what I ended up doing was digging these 2 holes about 50 centimetres, 60 centimetres deep, and I've used Blue Circle postcrete, which is about £6 a bag. All you do is you fill up your hole probably about 1/3 to 1/2 full, and then you empty as much postcrete into that water so that it appears over the top of the water. And when that happens, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set, and this post is now absolutely rock solid, so I'm ready to install my gate. Right, that's it. We've got mesh all the way around, and as you can see, I've fitted the gate and stained it with a nice country oak colour. The gate cost about £40 and it came with all its fixtures and fittings. So let's summarise where we are. We've put our posts in, we've put a perimeter fence all the way around the run, we've put our coop in place, and we've also added a gate so that we have access. But it doesn't end there. There's a couple more videos. The next one will deal with how we electrify the perimeter, and the last one will deal with getting supplies and actually getting our chickens. So I hope you've liked the video. If you have liked it, or if you've learnt anything from it, please hit the like button and watch out for the next videos.